That's right, it's Wrestlemania season. We're on episode 10 of the Beetlejuice My GM series, and we're wrapping it up soon. WWE 2K23 came out. We're going to move on to that. So we have this episode, enjoy some final wrestling, and then we move on to the statistics of who's the best from this season and yada yada, all that stuff. And then boom, WWE 2K23, which I have plans for that. And I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you enjoy this. Beetlejuice. Am I right, baby? It's recap time, and who would have thunk, huh? Rey Mysterio wins the WWE title. I mean, man has 4 tag titles and was able to win the WWE title. Who would have thought Rey Mysterio would actually win that? 12 and 11, one-time WWE champion, 4-time tag champ. All he needs is an MVP. Then we have Trish Stratus, which this is a new one. I mean, we've done it before, but this was the first time where I had to edit it. Where double champ, we've had double champs, but Trish made it out of last episode with the women's title and the tag title. So you see it, she has both titles. Trish Stratus, 10 and 9, 2-time women's champ, 1-time tag champ, 1-time MVP. We have Trish's tag team partner, Sasha Banks, has the most wins of anyone on our entire roster, and I have not been given her the opportunity she's deserved. She has not won a single women's title, which is ridiculous on my part. After she won like 3 or 4 last season, Sasha Banks 17 and 9, 2-time tag champ, 1-time MVP. We have AJ Styles. Who would have thought he's finally on the champions bracket at the very start of the episode? 7 and 5, 1-time WWE champion, 1-time tag champ. We have Bill Goldberg. Who would have thought he found a new tag team partner besides Kofi? 13 and 8, 2-time tag champ, 1-time MVP. We have Charlotte Flair at 14 and 12, 2-time women's champ, 1-time tag champ, 3-time MVP. Kevin Owens at 13 and 7, 3-time WWE champion, 2-time MVP. Mickie James at 10 and 8, 1-time women's champ, 1-time tag champ, 1-time MVP. We have Kofi Kingston at 13 and 6, 1-time tag champ, 2-time MVP. We have Mandy Rose at 10 and 7, 1-time women's champion. We have Brock Lesnar, the Beast, at 8 and 6, 1-time WWE champion, 1-time tag champ, 1-time MVP. We have the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, who had an alliance with Beetlejuice, was able to win a WWE title, was able to win a tag title last episode. All he needs is an MVP to become a Triple Crown winner. To think he did this all in one episode, like just bam, 2 titles, like nothing. 6 and 3, already said it, 1-time WWE champ, 1-time tag champ. We have Eddie Guerrero, which he started off hot. Now he's slowly getting to that 10 and 10 range. 2-time tag champ. We gave him a shot. He just couldn't win the WWE title. We have the Animal, Batista, who went on a tear last episode, won a tag title with Ric Flair, then he lost it, but he's chilling at a 4 and 2 record, 1-time tag champion. We have Gunther / Walter, which I just feel bad. We haven't used him in God knows how long. 7 and 7 record. I feel like he's just gonna stay there. We have the almighty Bobby Lashley at 5 and 5. Will he win a title this episode? Who knows? This is their last chance to win anything. We have the dead man, The Undertaker, who he held that WWE title for a while. I mean, he dropped it once, won it back, but he was there for a while. 9 and 13, 2-time WWE champion, 2-time tag champ, 1-time MVP. We have the man, Becky Lynch. Big time Bex lost her tag title last episode. She stands at 8 and 16 right now. Just not looking good for Becky. Will she get to 10 wins? Who knows? 3-time women's champ, 1-time tag champ, 1-time MVP. Ding dong, it's Bayley, and just like Becky, she lost her women's tag title, which her and Becky surprisingly both 8 wins. Less losses than Becky though. 8 wins, 11 losses, 1 women's title, 1 tag title, 1 MVP. Samoa Joe, which, started off slow. Then he looked like he was heating up a little bit. Now he's going back down that hill again. 8 and 14, 1-time WWE champion, 1-time MVP. The show off Dolph Ziggler, which, congrats to him. He didn't get to 20 losses last episode. He actually did not lose at all. He just picked up wins. 9 and 17, 2-time tag champ, 1-time MVP. Matt Riddle, which like Walter / Gunther, we just No matches, It's just stayed 6 and 7 for the longest. One-time WWE champion, two-time tag champ. You're gonna have to watch the whole video to find out if Matt Riddle even gets an entire match this episode. We have Jeff Hardy, which does not look good for him. He had some moments, but 4 and 7, two-time tag champion. Then we have Chad Gable, who, like Matt Riddle, like Gunther slash Walter, has not wrestled in the longest. His last match was against Goldberg and he lost. He's angry at us, but we tell him shush. He's just gonna stay at 6 and 8, two-time tag champ. It's that simple. We have Payne Royce, who is 5 and 10, one-time tag champ, one-time MVP. Did not do as good as she did last season, I believe. We have Ivar, who we didn't draft Ivar. We stole him from NXT, but one tag champ. Better than Eric, but I think Eric had the better record. As Ivar stands at 5 and 8. What's up? We got R-Truth, who unfortunately has the worst record of all our wrestlers at 1 and 3. It's time for the Slapnuts MVP, which, almost the end of this season. This one, then the next one. Whew. But let's look at the male and female Slapnuts MVP. For the male Slapnuts MVP, we have the Animal, Batista. It was between him and Rick. Rick had a really good episode, winning 2 championships. Pretty good record, winning and losing wise, but Batista, 1 tag title, went 4 and 1. I mean, he was an animal. What can I say?
You're gonna give me what I want, or I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love.
As for the female Slapnuts MVP, we have the boss, Sasha Banks, back-to-back MVP. Charlotte Flair won 3 in a row. Can Sasha tie that? I don't know. I should have gave her a championship match for the women's title. She hasn't had one this entire season, which is just criminal. I should be locked up for that. Sasha Banks is just killing it right now.
First of all, I always deliver.
We start off Raw. Matt Riddle gets a shot against Kevin Owens. The Undertaker runs in. It doesn't matter. Kevin Owens still beats Matt Riddle in a disappointing match. We turn Rey Mysterio from bad guy to good guy because he's the champ. Kofi and R-Truth versus Goldberg and AJ for the tag titles. Ric Flair runs in, costs them the tag titles. No rivalry between AJ and Rick. Eddie calls out Ray. Then we have Sasha and Trish Stratus versus Mandy and Becky. Mickie James runs in on Trish Stratus. We have a James and Stratus rivalry. New tag champs, by the way. Dolph Ziggler does some charity. We continue Batista versus Samoa Joe 1-on-1, and the Animal picks up the win. On to NXT, we have Natalya versus Toni Storm in an Extreme Rules match, and Toni Storm picks up the win against Natalya, and it injures Natalya. Wow, I'm astonished. Drew McIntyre does some charity. Then we have Cameron Grimes and King Nakamura versus Kane and the Ultimate Warrior. That's such a random matchup, and they pick up the win in a great match. Eric does some charity. They have Christina Fury, Shayna Baszler versus Ella Asuka, almost said Asuka, whatever accent that is, in a good match. Shayna and Ella pick up the win. Roger calls out Drew. Edge against Brute Force. Angel runs in. It doesn't matter. Edge retains, and we're still in the lead. We have Kofi Kingston saying he's happy we paired up with Truth. He told us so, and listen, him and R-Truth are tag champions now, man. And then Dolph Ziggler, whew, he says he's the man now. He wants to be in the main event. We tell him, you got it, show off. We have Bayley versus Charlotte Flair to start off Monday Night Raw. 1-on-1 to continue the rivalry, and Bayley picks up the win. Charlotte Flair going around that 500 range. Kevin Owens calls out The Undertaker. We can't get the rivalry, though. Kofi and R-Truth versus Bobby and Brock for the tag titles. And Brock and Bobby win in a legendary match. Injure Kofi Kingston. Riddle does some charity after losing. Ric Flair and Dolph Ziggler versus Jeff and Goldberg. AJ runs in on Ric Flair, and it doesn't matter. Dolph Ziggler and Ric Flair pick up the win in a mediocre match. Peyton Royce does some charity. This is the rivalry we wanted. Ray versus Eddie for the WWE title, and the Master of the 619 wins. After the call-out, we have Drew versus Roderick 1-on-1 to start off NXT, and Drew McIntyre picks up the win and gets injured. Wow. Christina Fury does a self-promo. Ultimate Warrior versus King Nakamura 1-on-1 after they teamed. Did they not? No, I don't know. Nakamura picks up the win. Naomi does a promo. Asuka, Tamina 1-on-1. They love these matchups. Tamina picks up the win and gets injured like Drew. Toni Storm calls out Natalya. Then we have Eric and Edge, the tag team that just love each other, against Angel Garza and Cameron Grimes. They win, and we're up. We have Goldberg who wants a new contract, and why not? It's almost the end of the season. Give them their money. Trish Stratus, our champ, wants money. Sure thing. Sorry, Dolph. I thought you just wanted a match when I was booking. Completely forgot you wanted a main event. That's on me. My bad. I fucked up. And then we have R-Truth who says he's in pain after only, what, 5 matches? Which is crazy. Starting off Raw, we have Samoa Joe versus Batista one-on-one. Samoa Joe picks up the win against Batista. Can he get 10 wins? Ric Flair calls out AJ Styles. We finally get the rivalry. Undertaker versus Kevin Owens, looking to build them up for WrestleMania. Start a rivalry, and it just doesn't happen. But Kevin Owens picks up the win. Becky Lynch does some charity. Trish Stratus versus Mickie James, trying to build up their rivalry for WrestleMania. Trish Stratus picks up the win and gets injured. Sasha Banks does some charity. Ray versus Eddie, no title on the line. Can Eddie win when the pressure isn't on? And he cannot. Ray picks up the win. On to NXT, we have Angel Garza versus Kane. They love this matchup. They love repeating the same matchups, and it just works. Kane picks up the win. Tony Storm calls out Natalya. Ultimate Warrior versus King Nakamura. I was wrong. They did not team together. They fought each other in teams. Nakamura picks up the win. Beth Phoenix does a promo. Asuka versus Shayna Baszler. I swear they do the same matches like every other week, and just we're trying to do variety. Shayna Baszler gets injured. Naomi does a self-promo. Cameron Grimes versus Eric. Extreme Rules one-on-one. Cameron Grimes picks up the win, and Eric gets injured. NXT's right there. We have Ric Flair who wants a new contract, and we're trying to do him versus AJ, so of course we're bringing back the Nature Boy. Rey Mysterio, San Diego, he wants a match. Batista wants a title shot, but we're basically set in stone what we're doing. Can't take a chance of him winning, so we tell him no. Sorry, Batista, we love you. Trish got injured, but we need her for WrestleMania, so we uninjure her. We start off Raw, AJ versus Rick. Now that we have the rivalry one-on-one, AJ Styles picks up the win against the Nature Boy. Rivalry grows. Batista does some charity. Decided we have an idea for WrestleMania. Becky and Mandy defend their titles. Payne Royce costs them the match. Charlotte and Sasha Banks win those tag titles. R-Truth does some charity. Undertaker versus Kevin Owens. Last chance to get a rivalry before WrestleMania. The Undertaker picks up the win. No rivalry. That sucks. Samoa Joe does some charity. Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. Last chance for Eddie to win before WrestleMania, and he does not. Rey is just destroying him. We have Tony Storm versus Natalya. Wasn't Natalya injured not that long ago? It doesn't matter. Tony Storm picks up the win in a great match. Roderick Strong cuts a promo. Cameron Grimes, Brute Force versus Bret Hart and Edge. And Cameron Grimes and Brute Force pick up the win in a good match. Ella calls out King Nakamura versus Ultimate Warrior. I give them credit. This is a new matchup. I'm liking it. Ultimate Warrior picks up the win. Rivalry grows. Beth Phoenix cuts a promo. Speaking of old matches, Kane versus Angel Garza, the tables, they just love it. They love it. Angel Garza wins, and NXT is on our heels. This is terrible news for WrestleMania. Eddie versus Ray just got destroyed. We lost our champ. We want to do Becky and Bayley versus Sasha and Charlotte for the tag titles, but we don't have Becky either. This is it. Whoever wins WrestleMania wins it. We have Eddie saying he wants a different opponent. It's sure, we don't even have Ray. Mandy's upset at Peyton, and sure, who cares? We don't have Becky, so we just decided to go with Charlotte versus Bayley. Tables match. We wanted the 4 horsewomen. Didn't happen. Charlotte Flair picks up the win. Great match. Eddie Guerrero does some charity. We don't have Ray for you. We get Rick versus AJ, though. Extreme Rules. And AJ Styles picks up the win against the Nature Boy and injures him. Oh, wow. He'll be back. Sasha Banks does some charity. Mickie versus Trish. Who doesn't love this matchup? TLC and Mickie James picks up the win just like last season to win the women's title at the very end. Kevin Owens does some charity. Don't have Kevin Owens versus Undertaker, but we have Brock and Bobby versus Taker and Goldberg for the tag titles. Undertaker gets injured. It's only right to have Taker in WrestleMania. R-Truth does some charity. Main event. Joe versus Batista. Hell in a Cell. Samoa Joe, 10 wins for the man. WrestleMania for NXT, they have Ultimate Warrior versus King of Nakamura. Hell in a Cell. Ultimate Warrior picks up the win. Great rivalry. Wow. Tony Storm calls out Natalya. Naomi versus Natalya. Why? Hell in a Cell. Why not just have Tony Storm versus Natalya? I'm confused. Christina Fury cuts a promo. Asuka versus Tamina. One-on-one. Hell in a Cell. Asuka picks up the win against Tamina in an amazing match. Shayna Baszler cuts a self-promo. Brett and Edge versus Roderick and Brute Force TLC. they're just doing where Edge gets injured. Some of their matches make sense. Eric does a promo. Angel Garza versus Kane. Hell in a Cell. They love it, right? And Kane picks up the win to end this GM mode. That's it. We lost. We couldn't handle hard mode. Shane McMahon got revenge for his sister. Beat us. Wow. Who would have known what would have happened had we had proper rivalries going on for WrestleMania? Had Ray not been banished or Becky? We'll move on to the next one.
Do I ever die?
Yeah.
I probably died like 10 years ago.